Thank you so much. Here, the program still this morning on ITV. Yeah, I told you that we're going to be looking at security issues one more time in the country. It's almost a case of one or too many now when you talk about attacks in the country. Only yesterday we saw where the president had to personally commiserate with the family of those affected, most especially as it relates to recent attacks in the country. Attacks in Kaduna, attacks in Sokoto, attacks in Kano. And of course, the president also gave his full word that security operatives in the country have been given the full freedom this time to deal ruthlessly with the terrorists in the country. Little wonder, where has this freedom been all this while? Well, we'll leave that for our discussants to examine as we look at issues in the country. Now, the big one is the 2023 presidential election that is going to come up sometime next year. As a matter of fact, by February, Nigerians will be going to the polls to elect their president. There are senators across various senatorial districts in the country, and also there are members of House of Representatives. But as we make preparation for the election, the big question is how safe is the election is going to be. Just as my co-anchor we're trying to examine in the morning when we started the program, that election is all-encompassing. It involves all and sundry. It involves the electorate. It involves the members, the officials of the umpire. That's the INEC officials now. It involves moving items from one place to another. And of course, given the situation in the country, little wonder how safe these materials will be and how safe the personnel that are going to be moving the election materials from one place to another will be. Well, to look at all this this morning, we are so privileged to have two eminent discussants here. Solomon Idiogbe is a human rights activist, a social activist, and of course a public affairs analyst. Mr. Solomon, you're welcome to this
very good morning this morning, Evans, and viewers at home, a very good morning this morning.
All right, now we have my big brother friend, a pharmacist Uyi Oriahi, a political discussant, and also a human rights a public affairs analyst now. I don't know whether he's going to be a human rights activist.
You'll be welcome.
Yeah, pharmacist, you're welcome to this program.
Thank you, Evans.
All right, and I have my co-anchor with me this morning one more time. Daniel, it's good to have you join.
Thank you, Evans.
All right, so gentlemen, as we hit this discussion this morning, the president has said that security operatives have been given the full support, full freedom to deal ruthlessly with security, with those that threaten our security in the country. Now, the big question is, I don't know, let's react to this as we begin to ask other questions. I'll start with Solomon Idiogbe.
To me, some would want to applaud the comments of Mr. President, but for some of us, especially Solomon Idiogbe, is laughable. Laughable because Mr. President, by the comments that shown to us, demonstrated clearly that what we have had before is less than full support.
Full freedom, in his words.
Yes,
full freedom
yes.
this
When you say free freedom, it means they had never had his full support. So for Evans, for me to say you now have the free freedom, which means you had half freedom, which means you never had my full support. Considering that and just opposing that with the interview he granted the BBC, talking about his readiness to die for his religion and for his people and the spread of Sharia, it creates a question in the minds of many. It further brings a question of the 2023 credibility elections in 2023 elections. You know why? The issue of the Muslim ticket in his party, his comment that he wants to hand over. You are a president. There are comments you don't make.
No, but he's a politician.
No.
See,
beyond being a politician, the buck stops at the table of Mr. President. He's now the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, which consists of whether PDP, APC, Labour, APGA, Oduduwa, Arewa. It's no longer an issue. Yes, of course, he must come from one of these extractions, but he must have that fatherly role, to play, to carrying everybody along in a diverse country, in a secular state like Nigeria. So for me, Oh, there was a discussion I was going on the other day, and some person said, why would Mr. President said he's not aware? I said that has become a very normal language in the Nigeria political lexicon, where Mr. President will always react to say, I'm not aware. How can Mr. President be aware when Lai Mohammed has not told him? How can Mr. President be aware when Additional has not told him? When Mugunu has not told him? You know, when those who are within the corridors of power didn't tell him, because they always have their ways. So, simply put, for me, it goes to show that Mr. President is yet to realize the enormity of some of the comments he has made and the attacks on the soil of Nigeria. It is so insulting to say that we want to kidnap the president of Nigeria. You understand? Now look at it. At the same time, his convoy was being attacked.
It's advanced team now.
It's advanced team.
Yeah.
Is his convoy, whether advanced or advanced, his convoy was attacked. Kuje prison was broken into. Well, in fact, you had not even recovered from the train attack. Then you had issue of attacks on communities within the Federal Capital Territory. Kuje is Federal Capital Territory. Bagwalada is Federal Capital Territory. You understand? And then you have the issue of attack on the guards, Brigade of Guard, along the Kubwa Way. That's Federal Capital Territory. That's to show that insurgency has come straight to the heart of the Nigerian states. So, which means that even the areas you can refer to as states are no longer even safe. If the terrorists can have the effrontery to attack the seat of power, because as it stands, Abuja is the seat of power. That is where the leadership of all the armed forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria are situated. And we're having this. So for me, it goes to show that there's more to it than meets the eyes.
Pharmacy Oyi, with the worsening insecurity situation we found ourselves as a nation, do you think Nigeria is ready for 2023 election?
Ordinarily, we have had places in the past, like Afghanistan, where the issues of insurgency had risen to a very, very high level. Elections were held. What makes the Nigerian situation a little bit very precarious and difficult is that the custodians of our national security, by all means, seem to be colluding with these various sects who we call the insurgents. And you will recall that some time ago, a retired army officer, General Danjuma, he raised an alarm. He said, Nigerians should take up arms because... And defend themselves. Because it seems that there are forces within the military that are colluding with these insurgents. You know, I remember the federal government then reacting, you know, to blast
The statement he made to
yes,
debunk it.
To debunk it. And tell people that these men are just raising an alarm because they are not being favored within the structure that is operational. But I watched Danjuma made that speech. He was so emotional the way he made that speech. Down the line, we have begun to see that the various acts being perpetrated and the places where the insurgents are perpetrating their acts, sometimes you will just sit back and think, inside the Nigerian Defense Academy, you mean these people are sending messages across to us that, look, your strongholds are in the palm of our hands. Your strongholds are in the palm of our hands. All you need to do is surrender to us because we are here. And the other aspect to it is that there are men within the forces who have begun to see this as an opportunity to get rich. Believe it or not. So, insurgency is generating incomes for some persons, and they are so involved. Now, the statement made by our president that he gives them the full freedom, like my friend Solomon said, How come the president at this time will make a statement like that? But again, I will not blame him. He's used to making certain statements that are very laughable. I'm sorry to say this. And here again, he has come. Not that the thing will change, because we have many things out there in public domain, many statements that have arisen, many issues, many allegations, that before the presidential election of 2015, certain men had contracted these forces and told them, look, this and this you will do in case this election does not go our way. Now they won the election, but they could not go back to appease those they had contracted. And the story of insurgency started building up in Nigeria. Instead of the government that we voted in to stop the scourge, we saw an escalation that was being handled in kid gloves because of a romance and a conspiracy between those who are in power and those that they are contracted to do a certain job.
But you've not independently verified the statement.
There's what you call
just a mere statement.
They are what we call circumstantial.
Let's find its way to the public domain.
No, they are what we call circumstantial evidences. If a retired army general has said long ago, there is a collusion, and up till now, we haven't seen anything to the contrary. It becomes very circumstantial. We can even build theories around them. You'll be so shocked how right we are in building our theory. In relation to the 2023 election, the truth must be told. With the evidences available to us, it is going to be very scary. But more so, some of the political actors, who in my opinion are very desperate for power, who have all the resources that normal individuals don't have, they are in a position to even use this state of insecurity to upturn results or to create a devastating circumstance around areas where they think the fortunes may not go their way. And these are private individuals who also have link with the ruling party. They are big enough to do that. They can use this occasion to do that. Now, our people who are supposed to vote on that day, they are human beings. They are all aware of what is going on around us today. Nobody will actually want to lose his life in a bid to vote a particular candidate.
So you think we are not ready for 2023 election, considering the worsening insecurity crisis we have faced as a nation?
Well, sir, there's a lot of time between now and then.
Okay.
If actions are matched, each words are matched, words are matched with action. It is not outside the capabilities and the capacity of the federal government to tame these people. But what if they simply refuse and bank on profiting from the process?
Okay. All right, now the program is still this morning on ITV, on independent television. Now, we'll let our viewers out there know that they can actually call into this program this morning so that we can also have one or two takes from them. 070-8365-1320. I repeat, 070-8365-1320. One more time, 070-8365-1320. Please ensure when you call, when you talk, let your submission be based on civility. Now, gentlemen, let me come to Solomon Idugbe now. I'm just going to read out something that Mr. Eneche, said recently, talking about defense media operation head, John Eneche of the Nigerian Army. Now, he said that why the military cannot expose Boko Haram sponsor in Nigeria, that he was trying to react to something. Now, the Nigerian Army, he said it is not the duty of the Nigerian Army to expose Boko Haram sponsors in the country. That's the coordinator of defense media operations, John Eneche, said this at the media briefing recently. And Eneche went ahead to say that he admitted that the Nigerian Army knows that some criminal group have heavy financial backing, but it is not the major task to fight It is their major task to fight terrorism, but it is not the major task of the Nigerian army to fight, to expose them. Now, John Enrique was trying to make recourse to the fact that Nigeria as a nation has the NIA, that's the National Intelligence Agency, that it is the duty, and of course the DSS department, it is the duty of these guys to ensure that they expose those sponsoring them. Now, we have a situation now that the president is saying that all security architecture, that he's giving them the full freedom. But even with this full freedom that the president is giving now, we still have the Nigerian army still saying that, hey, it is not our duty to expose those. I think let's quickly take this call. Yes, hello? Hello?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Hello?
Hello, I'm calling from Ohara.
All right, please.
I'm Mr. Luke.
All right, so we want you to make your submission as brief as possible.
I don't know the rationale between the Nigerian Army saying that it's not on their duty to call to mention names that are sponsored. Well, this is the bottom line of the whole issue. They must have to mention the name so that Nigeria will know their real enemy.
Okay.
Unless if they themselves are among the sponsors, that is that they should be hiding their names. But thank God for God that they know the people now. So that means they are among them. Have a nice day. God bless you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Just like what I was trying to, ask the question there, that the Nigerian army is saying that hey, it is not our responsibility to mention the names of these guys. You have the Nigeria Intelligence Agency, the DSS is there. Now we have this situation, and the president is saying that all security architecture has been given the full freedom. So where do we really go from here? I'll let you respond. Yeah, Solomon.
Okay, I thought we were picking the call.
Yeah.
Now, that goes to show that there's no cohesion. There's no interagency relationship amongst the security agencies. Now, let me quickly put this in perspective. Before the DSS came out, it was NSO. It was from the NSO we got the NIA, DSS, and others. It was broken into three, as it then was. And then each of these has a function. For example, the DSS major function is the protection of the states, which is the State House, which is Mr. President.
Yeah.
Now, it is therefore laughable that an attack was made on the convoy, whether he says an advanced team or a revanced team of Mr. President. The DSS is supposed to have known prior to that. The NIA is supposed to have known prior to that. Now, the issue of the Kuje prison break, first would have been the DSS knowing, collecting this information, sending it to the appropriate quarters, building what we call a proof.
A proactive measures.
So what we are seeing in recent times is that the security agencies have a reactive measure than a proactive measure. And what we need in Nigeria is not reactive measures, but proactive measures. Now, you may look at it, people may not understand from where nature is coming, but I can tell you clearly where it's coming. He's right. What is the duty of the Nigerian police? Is to arrest on or before crimes are committed. Then what are the functions and the duties of the Nigerian army? Is to protect the territorial integrity of the Nigerian state. What is therefore the function of the NIA, the DSS, and other quasi? Then if you talked about civil defense, is the critical infrastructure of the states, that is their major core duty. What is the function of the immigration? Is to regulate the inflow and outflow of persons into Nigeria. What is the function of the custom? Is to regulate the inflow and outflow of goods into the country. You understand? Now, the function of the DSS and the NIA is to identify, isolate, arrest, bunker them in bunker cells, interrogate when necessary, and then when it comes in terms of prosecution, they also know how to function. There are some of this investigation haven't been carried out, you take the prosecution to the police.
Now,
so
when
wrap up, it is not the function or duty of the army to arrest, detain, and prosecute, for instance. Okay. So I'm sure that is from where Eneche is talking about. But however, it is showing very clearly that the effectiveness and the proactiveness of the presidency is lost. That there is no longer taste and there is no savor in the cooking or the arrangement of the leadership of the Federal Republic of
Nigeria. So Pharmacy, do you think the presidency should have an extension of their tenure, owing to the fact that elections is just few months away, and to an extent we are still battling with this
extension of
the presidential tenure? The presidency tenure, talking about Buhari's tenure now. Should there be an extension? Should there be an extension?
Well, even if there is going to be such a thing, there are issues that we must build around it.
That would be impossible.
One, this is not the time to even talk about it. Two, even if there's going to be an extension, would we gladly want a government that we have all lost faith in? Totally.
Lost confidence.
Because some people in some quarters are actually clamoring for an extension.
Yes.
In the guise of...
the circumstance
that are realistic now. No. See, we've all lost hope. It may not be the case like that.
We have.
You have.
Most persons.
Because those benefiting, like you mentioned, from insurgency, you don't want it to end.
We don't want it to end. So actually, it's not yet time to talk about that. And before we even make mention of a thing like that, there must have been a breakdown, total breakdown of our security concerns, and we do not have a headway. Okay. Then again, it is not a man who is sitting there now that we can actually trust to continue, because his presence there has never benefited us one. Okay. One of the reasons we voted
I'm afraid this is where we have to draw the curtain. At times, always an issue on this program. Anyway, the program continues every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, even Friday. So we hope that these issues will continue as we try to find lasting solutions to insecurity issues in the country. I want to say a very big thank you to Solomon Idiobe.
Thank you so much.
And also pharmacist Uyi Oriahi for finding time to come on the show this morning. We'll quickly take a short pause to join I know on this sports segment on the program. Just stay tuned.